This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. They are compatible with TCG Live, and you can of course get everything on the website for 5% off using the coupon code ZapDoesTCG. This video is also sponsored by cardmarket.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can do it as well. And you can use the referral name ZapDoesTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by yourplaymat.com. This is a platform where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat. They have, of course, capabilities to ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So definitely check it out. Last but not least is Dragon Shield, the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. You can of course there's links down below for US and European people, and you can of course get your best quality sleeves available, as well as deck boxes and binders. Thanks so much for sticking around with the commercials. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. If you do, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and let's get this video going. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDoesTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG uploads, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Today we are going to be doing a buy list for post-rotation 2024. So the people that are new or people that want to update their binder, this is going to be an ideal video for you, so you know which cards are still good after rotation and which cards and staples you need in your binder to actually play competitively. So we're also going to run through the cards that are surviving the rotation, which is going to be key, because archetypes like, of course, Mew Max, Urshifu, all those will have rotated by the time we hit the rotation. So that's going to be April 5th. So that's when the rotation gets activated. And then we lose, of course, sets like Battle Styles. There's Chilling Rain, Evolving Skies, Celebrations on top of Fusion Strike. I already made a video about which decks are going to have to adapt, which decks are going to be rotating, as well as all the cards that rotated. Now we're going to be taking a look at the future, and that's going to be all the cards that are still around, and pretty much a buy list, so you know how many copies you need in your binder, as a little run through of the sets from Brilliant Stars onwards. So it's going to be the F block that rotates, actually the E block that rotates completely out. That means F block onwards. So if you guys are excited for today's upload, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. And without further ado, let's just get this adventure started. So we are here on TCG Live. Also, I should note is that you have to be careful of specific trainer galleries. You might say, oh, this fantastic auxiliary that you see on screen was printed in Brilliant Stars as a trainer gallery, but taking a look at the bottom left corner, you will see that of course it is an E regulation card. So even though it is printed in Brilliant Stars, it doesn't always mean it is going to be legal after rotation. So be sure it has an F symbol on there and onwards, so F, G, H, etc. So we're going to be diving into this video instantly. So they are already sorted by sets, and we're going from old to new. So we are here in Brilliant Stars, and we're going to be getting a couple of Grottles. You probably will need 4 of them in your binder, because Grottle is one of those cards coming with the Sun Dredged Shell, aka Sunshine Grace. If you've been playing back in the days of Grottle, you're going to be able to actually back in the days of, what card was it again? We have Trico, and then the evolution from that. So very similar ability like that. So you're going to be able to, once during your turn, search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This actually is a very great ability. Levelable will have rotated, so don't care about the 100 HP department right there, but you will need this because Torterra EX has been announced for upcoming sets, so that's going to be fantastic for sure. Also, the Evo Press Torterra is also not too bad. You might want to include, maybe, if you want to be going full on Torterra, but the deck in general hasn't proven itself, you might actually want to add in 2 copies now to add on top of the Torterra EX deck. So you need those. You're going to be happy you have them. So the trainer galleries, we won't be taking a look at those, because those won't be not necessary. Wormadam also not great anymore, because Zoroark will have rotated out. So just going through here, Shaman V-Star with the Revenge Blast. Sometimes you can get this up with Mirage Gate, so definitely add in 1 copy of the Shaman V for the Revenge Blast alone. You can slap a lot of damage if the opponent has taken a lot of prize cards. For the Shaman V-Star, I probably wouldn't put that into your binder. So we're going to be making this competitive only, not going to be like high hopes and stuff. Moltres here with the Inferno Wings. Being able to use, of course, Magma Basin onto it does seem great. So maybe a one-off copy that you could use. Entei is still great in this format with Entei, Iron Valiant and stuff. So definitely get 4 copies of Entei into your binder. Moving forward, I don't think you need any of these cards, even though there will be a card that allows you to evolve instantly, which is actually pretty interesting. I don't know if your Kingler VMAX will then become great, probably not. So you could be putting in 1 copy of the Lapras into your binder because you can auto paralysis, which is always a strong thing in the format. So put that into your binder. I also love this emergency surfacing Empoleon. So when you have like 0 cards in hand, you can summon it from the discard pile and draw 3 cards. So that's actually a pretty cool card. Definitely you need Manaphy. What format would it be without bench protection? So definitely add that Manaphy into your binder here. So you have that. Ice Cube, you won't need it anymore as the Fusion Strike cards have all... there's also an E-block regulation card, so don't care about the fact that it is printed in Brilliant Stars. It also rotates. Not that we care too much about it. Raikou is still around. You probably need 2 copies. It has been a staple in Miraidon decks. So also a cool target for 4 Sealstone and Fleet-footed is great. So definitely put that into your binder. Let's see here. This patch feature is actually kind of cute. 30 damage for each tool card attached to all of your Pokemon. There will be Pokemon that can equip multiple tools, but not that great regardless. This one actually allows you to move special energies, but actually very hard to put a stage 2, and we're in a basic energy heavy format with like magma base and electric generator, etc. So you don't need Dusknoir. Also, fun fact is that this Mimikyu has an E-block regulation, so that will rotate, as well as the Mimikyu VMAX. I don't know how to think about it. There are still a couple of cards that don't have the F-block regulation mark, but they are actually not that great regardless. So let's move on. A Roaring Resolve. Lucario is always a card that I think like might see potential from here to there, but probably wouldn't include it into your competitive binder. These are like the cards from Brilliant Stars that like pop out the most for me. Liepard with the trade ability, so allowing you to draw 2 cards. Maybe it's actually not that bad to invest in Liepard as a draw engine, although I still believe that with Curlia still around and Refinement, Level Ball has rotated, Fog Crystal has rotated by the time we are hitting the rotation, so you don't actually, it actually survives the Greninja hit, so maybe putting in 4 copies of this Liepard into your binder is not bad. I don't know what the perfect Purloin is, but definitely add in 4 copies as well, so you have that going for you. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Any other cards? This actually is an interesting Pokemon. Once during your turn, you may discard your hand, draw 5 cards, and your turn ends. It's not bad to include 1 copy of that into your binder. You never know when it might become useful. Now we do see B-Barrel. The preferred B-Doof actually is the one with 60 HP from the Pokemon Go set. So for now, we just add in the B-Barrels. Add 3 of them because Makani-chan actually played a 3-3 line of B-Barrel. Usually you would only need 2, but just put 3 into your binder. For Arceus, add in 4 copies. Arceus is always good in every format, even though it slacked down a little bit. Yeah, 4 tree lines should be sufficient into your binder here. Alright, moving forward, there's a Tornadus. When you slap it down onto your bench, you may have a gusting, actually a repel effect, so the opponent has to select the bench Pokemon. Very similar to the Iron Bundle that we have seen printed in Paradox Rift, so probably won't need this. There's also no scoop up net, so there is that. Yeah, other than that, definitely need that Lumineon. Probably like 2 copies. Some decks play 2 of them. What else? Raichu, 2 copies into your binder. That's kind of easy to see. The other cards here probably are not that useful. Whimsicott also is not that great anymore because of the way that, yeah, there is way too many basic energy reliant decks. Charizard, V-Star, not great. Beedrill, also something you won't need. I think we're now moving into Astral Radiance territory, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, as mentioned, the E-block regulation cards rotate. So that means even the trainer galleries, they do look nice. Shining Arcana will have rotated, so don't mind that. Let's see, are there any other cards here? We're just doing the Pokemon first, and then we're gonna head over to the trainer card. So, you know, we are here. I think that's the end of Brilliant Stars. I might actually move on to the trainer cards already here. I think the filters are still set up with all of the formats, or actually all the sets right there. So we are good to go. We are good to go. All to new. So are there any trainer cards you might want? Worker. Yeah, I always suggest like adding 4 copies of every supporter into your binder if you happen to have them laying around somewhere, because of the fact they might see play at one point. A worker is a card that allows you to discard a stadium. We won't have path to the peak in the format, so it will be less useful, but still, yeah, it's a supporter that actually might see some play. Discarding V Pokemon, you might add in one of these for Vitality Band, add in like one of them is searchable. Vengeful Punch, actually an interesting card. I probably would add in 3 copies into my binder. All the rest here don't seem that interesting. Definitely 4 Ultra Ball. The 4 Ultra Ball is kind of a must. Trekking Shoe, 4 of them, of course, makes sense. Tillup as a one-off into your binder. Town Store, I think I would go all the way to 3 copies. Some would even go to 4, but I think 3 is enough into your binder. Toolbox, I don't know if that's useful. Probably wouldn't include it. And then we are here with the... Is that Lost Origin already? Wow. Did we like go that far into sets? It could be. It could be. Maybe they are like not... Oh, they're sorted alphabetically. Okay, that makes way more sense. So with that being said, we might just do all the trainers first so we can get those out of the way. They are sorted alphabetically, but that's kind of like difficult to go along. So I probably would actually just start over. Excuse me for this one. Because we're going to be sorting them not alphabetically but with sets, so you guys know from Brilliant Stars what to keep and what not to keep. So expansion, oldest to newest. Yeah, okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay. Gloria, to search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon that don't have rule boxes and put them onto the bench. Is that going to be the best way to set yourself up? Probably not, because they have the Buddy Puffin shenanigans that comes out very shortly. The Single Strike Mustard shenanigans also rotate, even though these are like trainer galleries. Charon Scare is a card that's still around. You might add in 2 copies. Cleansing Gloves does rotate, don't get confused. Cynthia's Ambition sometimes sees plays in these 1 price decks. I would include 2 copies into your binder. Are there any other cards here that we might include? Magma Basin as a 4-off, definitely. Choice Belt only 2 off, because we're heading into like a territory with a lot of EXs in the format. There's Hunting Gloves, which also rotates, don't get it confused. Kindler never saw play, so you don't need it currently. Pot Helmet, also something that sometimes control users might use, so I put 1 copy into your binder there. There's Roseanne's Backup, also a one-off, I suppose. Female's Chair as a one-off. Sometimes people like try to play 2 of these, but it's not necessary. There is... you might actually want to have 2 of them just because of the fact that Peonia rotates, so you can no longer have access to your prize cards. There's Collapse Stadium. I would definitely include like... Yeah, some decks even went all the way to 4, so you might actually want to get 4 Collapse Stadiums into your binder. And by then, I think we're actually going into Astral Radiance territory. So we're going back to the Pokemon, I suppose. So... yeah, I think that is going to be, let's see here, this is the set from 172, and this is one, yeah, we're going into Astral Radiance, so we're going back to the Pokemon here. Let's go, going all the way down, as we saw with Brilliant Stars already, like, completed here with Arceus. That was the set, like, with tons of, like, Luminian shenanigans, and then the best card from that is, of course, Arceus. So, moving forward, we are in Astral Radiance territory. What would you possibly be needing? There's also special energies, by the way. We might do those first as well, so we are definitely in chronological order here. So, expansion, the only card you actually want here, I don't know if this is, yeah, this is actually from Lost Origin. So, you need 4 DTE, that's about it. So, 4 DTE from the Brilliant Star set. So, that's actually the cards you need from Brilliant Stars. Okay, moving forward, Astral Radiance coming up here. And the cards we are going to be looking at are like 40 additional HP with your Cricket Tune. Might be nice, so I actually would include 2 copies, 2 Cricket Tots as well, because 40 additional HP with something like a Torterra EX, that actually might become so nice. That's going to be a 380 HP monster. People will not be able to take it down easily. As mentioned, Torterra EX might come out very shortly. Lilligant, probably not going to be useful. I wouldn't include it in my binder. 1 copy of Radiant Heatran, that's actually a very great Radiant card. We did see that there's going to be way better Radiant cards coming out, but the Radiant Heatran with the Magma Basin definitely can work. You definitely need this Mantine, which actually can count as Echoing Horn replacement for Snorlax block, so there's that. For the Regis, I don't know. I currently am in disbelief that the Regis will make its way back to the top tables. I could be wrong, But as we're seeing here with more and more like decks like Charizard having a grass weakness, something like a Torterra having a fire weakness, Gardevoir having a darkness weakness, the Regis just don't cut it to one-shot Pokemon anymore. Radiant Greninja, the best Radiant of the bunch, you definitely need that into your binder. I would also include this Hisuian Basculin as a one-off because Gather the Crew for 0 energy is actually pretty good. Attached Retreat. Regieleki for controlling decks, you might add in 2 copies of that. There's a Togekiss line, which actually is pretty useless. There is still Refinement in the format, so Gardevoir is still not done because Refinement actually came out in Silver Tempest, if I'm not mistaken, so you might want to add in like a couple of these, just add in like all the rolls, to be honest. There's also more rolls coming out, so maybe like 3 copies of this Teleportation Burst one. The Gallade, also a great one as a one-off into your binder. Diancie can prevent the opponent from playing supporter cards. There's actually sometimes see play, so you might actually want to add in like 2 copies of that. It might see play at one point during its lifespan again. Radiant Hawlucha against VMAXs, you don't need that anymore because VMAXs are almost all leaving the building except for something like a Kyurem, I suppose. Any other thing? Darkrai V-Star, probably like a 1-1 line seems sufficient here. Yeah, a 1-1 line of the Darkrai V-Star, because of the fact that the Star Abyss could be used in decks like, for example, Roaring Moon, which is actually pretty great. Samurott V-Star, nope, you don't need it. Moving forward, Magnezone to just go for the Dialga shenanigans. I don't know if Dialga actually will see more play, but there is a Metang coming out, which has easier energy acceleration. So we might actually just put in 3 Dialga and then 3 Dialga V-Star into the binder. And I don't think I can add in more cards here, so I will actually have to make some space here. Or I could just start over, I suppose. I'm actually saying the cards already, so I don't actually need to slide them into this buy list. So it's fine. Whatever. We're going forward here with more cards. The Hoot here. Basic energy attached to your bench Pokemon can be discarded. This actually could become a great one-off, so I'd add in 1. I cannot add more cards, but I'm doing this the gesture and stuff regardless. Miltank not that useful anymore because of the fact that we're in an EX heavy format. Oranguru can actually be nice because actually once it's in the active spot, we can actually search our deck for 2 tool cards. Actually pretty good. So a one-off is great in your binder. A Weirdeer V, also a one-off into your binder. Luxray V for Disruption, a one-off in your binder. Starmie V also could be a great one-off, but on the other hand, Melanie is rotated, so is it even worth it? Probably. It is still a nice one-off to have into your binder just because of the fact that you could use it into Baxcalibur decks, I suppose. There's Palkia V-Star. I don't know if it will ever become playable again without Melanie, but there's still the way. I would just include a 2-2 line of the Palkia V-Star, so yeah, there's that. A 2-2 line of Palkia V-Star is sufficient because you're going to be using that on the side with stuff like chien-pao, etc. So what else in this deck? These are actually not in the deck, in the buy list. These are actually all yeah, rotated cards that just have the alternate artwork. So there is that. So we have Astral Radiance out of the way. Now we are actually, I'm going to do Pokemon Go after Astral Radiance. So for now, let's head over to the trainer cards. And from Astral Radiance, let's just take a look here. We have Canceling Cologne, probably 2 copies in your binder for the chien-pao deck, so you need 2 of these. What else? I would just include 4 Dark Patch. It's a given. 2 Silene into your binder. I would just add in 4 Energy Lotto. You never know when there's like a pure DTE deck that comes out of the woodwork. 4 Feather Ball into your deck, actually into your binder. 4 Gabejaw Bog. Gardenia's Vigor is actually so bad that I probably wouldn't even include it. There hasn't ever been like a great grass deck currently, and it's just this draw power is very, very bad compared to stuff like the Sada's Vitality, for example. Grant, maybe as a one-off into your binder. Gutsy Pickaxe, 4-off. Hisuian Heavy Ball, I would say a one-off. Then Irida, a 4-off. Jubilee Village, you don't need this. Roxanne, 2-off into your binder. Roxanne's still around. F-Block. Spicy Season Curie has rotated, so be careful. Super Effective Glasses, I would add 2 copies into your binder. I would also add in 4 copies of Switch Card, 4 copies of Temple of Sinnoh, 4 copies of Trekking Shoe, and then Pat is rotated, so be careful right there. That's about it. That's about it for the trainer cards. Now we're hopping into the energy cards, and I don't think There are special energies for the Astral Radiance set. I think, yeah, the next one is Lost Origin, so not a lot of special energies. Now that we're here, we could actually get all the special energies out of the way with, so you need all of the special energies 4 off. It's very simplistic to just say, but all these special energies might actually see play, except for like maybe regenerative energy, because it's for V Pokemon, and V Pokemon are not coming out any longer. So you just scratch regenerative energy, just go for 4 gift, 4 double turbo, 4, I would just say 3 V guards, that's sufficient, 4 jet energy, 4 luminous energy, 4 therapeutic energy, 4 reversal energies, and the medical energy, yeah, just a 4 off. These are like cards that don't cost that much money regardless. So next up, we're gonna go over to the Pokemon Go mini set, everyone's favorite mini set, because the Pokemon Go mini set actually comes back with a lot of great cards. You might be surprised how many there are. Let's see here. Radiant Venusaur, you might need that as a one-off, so definitely need that. And yeah, what deck was it? Torterra EX deck, so there's that. There is a Moltres allowing to slap 10 more damage with your basic fire Pokemon. I don't think you'll need this, so but having a one-off cannot hurt regardless. There's a Radiant Blastoise for some extra sniping capabilities. I probably wouldn't include this Radiant just because Radiant Greninja is so much better. Slowbro here can get like a checkmate position out there. I don't know if I would include it because you would need like 2 Slowpoke out at one point. There might be a deck that could pull it off with like double turbo energies, but I wouldn't rely on it. Articuno, this actually becomes maybe a 4 off. You could pair this up with Cramorant. I've seen decks like that working out, so a 4 off of the Articuno. Then a 1 off of the Zapdos in the Miraidon deck to hit for the 230 damage output. Other than that, I think the last card of the bunch, and there's still a couple of them. Yeah, 4 Snorlax, Black Snorlax is still an archetype in the format. Actually, the Bidoof from 60 HP, I don't know which set it was from, but you definitely need that Bidoof. Or is it? It's a Crown Zenith. I think it's Crown Zenith, yeah. Then we're going to be seeing that in action. So, yeah, Pokemon Go mini sets. You also will need Radiant Charizard. I don't know if I can spot it over here, but Radiant Zard is one of those cards that... was it actually printed in Pokemon Go? I believe so. It actually made an impact. I currently don't see it here, but you definitely need Radiant Zard, or was it Crown Zenith? Whatever, you need Radiant Zard. Just put it into your binder. With that being said, we're moving onwards. I don't think there were any like useful trainer cards in Pokemon Go, unless I'm mistaken. I think Pokestop is the number 1 one. Okay. Lure Model, Egg Incubator, you don't need any of those. You just need 4 copies of Pokestop. With that, we move ourselves all the way to Lost Origin. It's probably even better to just filter them out instead of going with this. We have used Brilliant Stars already, Astral Radiance already, Pokemon Go already. I'll just shut down all the rest of these sets. So we just have Lost Origin, and it's a little bit easier to understand. So, Lost Origin, and let's see here. Evolution Chain Expansion, it's fine. Yeah, they have been filtered a little bit differently because I see like cards from all over the place here. So I'm just gonna leave this one. We're gonna be deleting it. Yes, we're gonna be creating a new deck. We're gonna go create in standard, and then we're gonna be filtering all the cards from the Lost Origin. Here we go. And then we say alphabetical, not expansion. Is this better? Yeah, this is better. Okay, here we have them. I think a couple of cards were removed here and there, so just for that reason, I will recheck once more if I forgot a couple of cards, because yeah, TCG Live is always such a drag to be taking a look at. Did I forget any cards we see here? Don't believe so, but I think Radiant Charizard didn't show up there, which I found very strange. Okay, there's Brilliant Stars. We are completely done with that. Alright. Then, Astral Radiance, a double quick check. Don't think I've missed any of them. Yeah, the Radiant Greninja, super important. It's going to be one of the cards that will be used for definitely one more additional year. Full of draw power. Pokemon Go here. Where did the Radiant Zard go? Am I so wrong? Yeah, the Radiant Zard. Yeah, here it is. Radiant Zard. You need that into your binder. And also the Ditto might actually be useful at one point. So add in like 2 Ditto into your binder as well. The Slacking might also get a one-off into your binder. Yeah, I think so. I think we're now kind of done. The Super Fang is actually pretty cute, but it's just a rogue deck. Lunatone, Soul Rock Shenanigans, also something I wouldn't personally include into your binder. So, alright, moving forward. Now that I am sure that I didn't forget any cards, we are all the way here in Lost Origin. Let's check out which cards might actually be seeing a little bit of use in your binder. Okay, I don't see a lot, to be honest. You don't need that much. Be careful. Cards like in Trainer Gallery are rotated. Will rotate, I would say. Next, let's see here. There is this interesting Oceanic company. As often as you like, you may attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon that have Swim Freely attack. There might actually become Swim Freely Pokemon out there, so I would include 4 copies of this Finneon. Just because it will be useful when there's a new Pokemon card out there with this exact Swim Freely attack. You never know when they print one. Cramorant, you need 2 copies of the Cramorant. Let's move forward. There's a Clefairy here, which can accelerate energies, but it never saw play. I probably wouldn't include it into your binder. Just skip that. There is this Gengar. You might actually put 2 copies into your binder just because, yeah, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may slap it onto your bench, which sometimes can help with the 3 damage counters. Mawile as a 2-off in your binder because sometimes this actually works out to win games, to trap Pokemon. 2 copies of Sableye, yeah, 3 copies of Sableye into your binder. Sableye is just such a monster in this format, and with rotation that's still going to be the same. 1 Cresselia. There also might be 1 Banette. This Banette with Puppet offering can get a supporter back from the discard pile. The reason why we're putting it into our binder is because Banette EX will become way better with, of course, the new supporter allowing you to evolve turn 1, allowing you to get turn 1 item lock again, which is actually super busted. 4 copies of the Comfey, add them in there, which are very, very useful in a lot of decks like Lostina, Lost Box, Piles, etc. Okay, I don't see any other cards here that you need. So where we move forward. Radiant Hisuian Sneasel, you need this because there's going to be a new stadium out there that allows you to like poison. And actually not allow you to poison, but with more damage counters for poison. And on top of this, it's going to be a very crazy poison situation. So you definitely need a Radiant Hisuian Sneasel. You need a 3-3 line of Giratina V-Star. It is great and will remain great. Goodra, I'm not that quite of a believer because we're in a one-shot format with Frenzied Gouging. But maybe when a new special energy hits the format where you're able to be immune from Frenzied Gouging, Goodra might see play once again. So if you're a believer, you might add a 3-3 line into your binder. You need 1 Pidgeot V, which is the perfect target for a 4 Sealstone deck and decks that don't want a 2-price liability. You need about 2 Snorlax with the Unfazed Fat because actually sometimes it sees play in Lost Boxes, but also sometimes when Lugia might make a reappearance, it might be great. Hisuian Zoroark, you don't need this because I am not a believer. For the V Pokemon, I would include 1 copy of Rotom V in my binder, and other than that, maybe a one-off Enormous, which you never see the day when a card like this becomes played. Prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon's ability done to each of your Pokemon that have a Psychic Energy attached. So that's just a cheap card, so include it. The Delphox might also be a cool one-off, as you can use this in Charizard to snipe people out of nowhere. Okay, moving forward, we're going to the trainer cards from Lost Origin here. I think the filter is still set up. Yeah, Lost Origin, and they are still alphabetically sorted. Let's go expansion. Alright, what do we need? Let's see, damage bump could become a 4-off. It's definitely could become when there's ever like a deck like Zoroark, Hisuian Zoroark, but better. You need 4 Colors Experiment. Box of Disaster, you might still need a 2-off because Arceus is still around and Gardevoir could become a deck again, but I don't know if Box of Disaster is actually all that great. 8 damage counter, yeah, just put 2 copies into your binder, you never know. Lost City, I would put 4 copies into your binder. Lake Equity has never seen play. It's like a defensive card that the opponent could just play around with. Probably wouldn't include it. I would add 4 copies of Lost Vacuum, 4 copies of Mirage Gate, 4 copies of Misfortune Sister, 2 copies of the Torton, 1 copy of the Volo, and that's it. Then for the energy, we already went through all the energy, so that's pretty cool. Now we're going to make our way to the upcoming set here. It is after Lost Origin, the set that everyone like saw the domination of Lugia V-Star. Okay, let's see here. Any cards you want. This actually comes packed. Oh no, it's not this Venomoth. There was a Venomoth at one point with item lock as well. Could be seeing that play of that supporter that might come out soon, but not quite yet. Radiance Serena, healing 20. Just put all the Radiance as a one-off into your binder. You're not hurting anyone. They are very cheap. Maybe Greninja is like the... Greninja and Radiant Charizard are like the best of the bunch. Don't see any card currently that I want to add into the binder. Maybe like the Wild Freeze Articuno. I did see play before. It only needs 2 energies to insta-paralyze. So insta-paralyzation, will it become a thing again? Who knows? We'll have to figure it out when the format develops. Radiant Alakazam, just a one-off. Zeraora, also a one-off. Let's see. Yeah, as we saw, there is of course memory skip rolls. You might want to include like the memory skip one, maybe one off into your binder. Okay, with that being said, we also need 4 copies of Refinement Kirlia. It actually will become yeah, clearer and clearer if Gardevoir will survive and adapt with stuff like Drifloon, and of course a higher amount of Screamtail. But as we know, Shining Arcana is gone, so maybe adding in maybe 1 or 2 of the Gardevoir. This one, it also draws cards, so it's not bad. But it's not gonna be the crazy attacker with the Brainwave attack. Okay, nothing to see here. There, at one point, this actually was kind of a control kind of card, where you can make sure you have like the Defiance Vest, but we're in a one-shot format, so you don't need it at all. Okay. You might need this Beldum, which actually is maybe the preferred Beldum if you're playing Metang, the new Metang that comes out, by the way, because this actually can get any card you want from the deck and put it on top. So it helps you to prevent bricking a little bit. Radiant Jirachi is something you won't need. There's no Glim with Tangle in the format, so you don't need that. Slapping more damage against Darkness type Pokemon. It is clear that you don't need this because maybe you one-off in your binder. You never know when new Darkness Pokemon come out, and could help with the matchups here and there. Moving forward, I don't see that much, to be honest. This set has been a little bit lackluster if I'm taking a look at all the cards. Just for like the Kirlia Refinement, not a lot that you probably want in your binder. Regidraco V-Star, I'm not a believer, so also wouldn't include it in the binder. Lugia, just a 4-tree line into your binder. Lugia and the Lugia V-Star. You never know when Lugia will strike again. On top of that, you also need 4 Archeops, because Archeops and Lugia go hand in hand with the acceleration of special energies. A 2-2 line of Alolan Vulpix V-Star I could see working out, so put that into your binder. All the rest here, even Superior V-Star. If you're an Arceus believer, just add a 2-2 line of Superior V-Star into your binder. If you're not, then you don't do it. That's pretty much what it is. Okay, we are here. Oldest to newest? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are here with the trainers of Silver Tempest. Any cards we want. Capturing Aroma as a 4-off, I would add. And Emergency Jelly is actually pretty good. Currently in Roaring Moon. Also could be seeing more uses later down the line. So maybe like 2 copies of Emergency Jelly. You need 2 copies of Forest Sealstone, maybe even 3 copies, because Forest Sealstone, there's still a lot of targets out there. Think about Luminion, think about like Arceus. Arceus doesn't need Forest Sealstone, but there's still a couple of specific V Pokemon in the format, so just add in the Forest Sealstone. I'm also thinking about like stuff like Raikou, for instance, Raichu, etc. Other than that, you don't need anything. Serena is actually, we're in an EX format, so 4 copies of Worker as mentioned already. Now, I think we're moving all, yeah, we're going all the way into Scarlet and Violet territory, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there's still Crown Zenith to be taken a look at. Crown Zenith, let's see here. Is that? Okay, Silver Tempest removed, and yeah, Crown Zenith, there's a lot of alternate artwork cards that still have the E-block regulation, so they will still rotate, so don't be fooled here. But I'm just checking out here if there are any cards noteworthy from Crown Zenith that you do want into your binder. Currently, I don't see... Maybe this Kyogre. Yeah, this Kyogre as a one-off. I'll just drag it in here so you guys can see. Good snipe, 180. Definitely great in the Baxcalibur decks to snipe. Even though Manaphy's around, it could still prove itself worthy. Yeah, the Rotom's still around, folks. So, Rotom V-Star, I'm not a big fan of that. Any other cards? Radiant Chargeback, you don't need that. All these wacky cards from Crown Zenith. I think there's also the one-off Zacian here, which can slap more damage for each Pokemon on your bench. Could be like a great one-off in a Goldango deck, for instance. There's Zamazenta here, also a great Lost Box kind of card. Lost Box with Metal-type energies. Radiant Eternus, you don't need it because of the fact that VMAXs are no longer going to be great in the format. Oh yeah, here it is, the Bidoof. You need 4 copies of this cool-looking Carefree Bidoof. It's going to be... 4 is maybe a little bit too harsh, maybe 3. So you have a 3-3 line of B-Barrel eventually into your binder. With that being said, we're moving into the Scarlet and Violet block. So yeah, hopefully you guys are ready. And your binder's already filled up a little bit. So you guys know what is good, what is less good. Okay. Let's see here. Scarlet and Violet base. These are like really recent cards, so I'd be surprised if you don't have these. Like Spide Ups, if you're a control kind of guy, you could include a couple of Spide Ups in your deck, because with Item Lock and Spide Ups, people will have a hard time getting out of the active position, but I am not going to be that control player, so we're not doing that. Let's see. I don't think you need any of these, to be honest. No. Currently not in the mood to put any of these in the binder. You definitely need Drifloon with the Balloon Blast to maybe help Gardevoir survive. I would add 4 copies into your binder. Klefki, 4 copies. Throw that into your binder instantly. It's very great, and without Path to the Peak, this is one of the few cards that can block people out of the game as soon as turn 1. Flying Entry Halucha, put 2 copies of that into your binder. Then Koraidon, you might also add in 2 copies, but I don't know if fighting Pokemon will ever become like that dominant. There are like better ways to go with fighting, definitely because of Professor Sawdust's Vitality. So maybe scratch those Koraidons. They're not that good. Just scratch them entirely. Alright. Any other cards that might get a little bit of interest? Maybe a 2-2 line of the Rever Room. You can discard an energy from hand and then draw cards until you have 6. It's like B-Barrel but with more HP. You're also not knocked out by a Lost Mine from Sableye, so having that in the binder is not too bad, I suppose. A one-off Scovit, put that in, super nice. Scovit allows you to declunk your hand if you're playing B-Barrel, which is great. Okay, yeah, now we are here. Definitely need 3 copies of Banette EX, which is definitely going to become greater when more cards get released. You need 2 copies of Gardevoir EX, you need 3 copies of Miraidon EX, and all the rest of these other EXs are pretty terrible. With that being said, the cards you need 4 Arven, you need Beach Court 4 off, you need 4 Crushing Hammers, you need 2 Defiance Band, 4 Electric Generators, 4 Retrievals. Like most of these are like staple item cards, I suppose. Energy Surge is bad because we have Earthen Vessel, 4 Energy Switch, 4 EXP Share, I would say 1 Jock, 4 Judge, yeah, why not? 3 Mesagosa, 1 Miriam, 4 Penny, 2 Palpat, 4 Nestball, 4 Pokemon Catcher, 4 Pokegear, 4 Professor's Research, 4 Rare Candy, 4 Switch, 4 Ultra Ball, and 2 Vitality Band. So yeah, that's all you need from the Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet base has a lot of items, and we already did all the special energies regardless. So let's move over to the Paldea Evolved set. This set that brought us none other than chien-pao. Okay, the deck that got myself almost my entire invite. So chien-pao. This is the set where it all happened here. Let's see here. Any card you want in your binder. If you're a Meowscarada believer, you might do this, but it hasn't seen success now, and it won't see success now later because it's never been that great, so you don't need it. Maybe if you are a control player, you might actually use this Tarantula on top of your Spidops. Okay. I don't see any card that you want. 70 HP Frigibrax, you don't need this one because the other one that comes out in the Paldean Fate set actually comes with draw a card, which is way, way better. Luxray, 2 copies in your binder works perfectly with Reversal Energy. If you are a believer of United Wings, you might actually put all the United Wings fellas. I'll just note them down here. For Wattrel, there's going to be Flamigo and Murkrow as well. Spiritomb, you need a one-off in your binder. Spiritomb could still be great to lock off stuff like Rotom and Lumineon, so don't you forget about that. Mimikyu, you definitely need 3 copies. There can be like decks that don't have answers to Mimikyu, which is super cool. Tinglu is a wacky deck, you don't need it, but I just wanted to mention it because there are sometimes people loving that deck. So for Murkrow, for the United Wings fellas. Noivern, okay. Prevent all damage done from basic Pokemon, but its damage and Frenzied Gouging goes straight through this, so you don't need it, don't you worry. Not a lot that you need, to be honest, here from Paldea Evolved. Squawkabilly, you need 2 copies. That's definitely going to be one staple card. For Flamigos, for the United Wings believers out there, the 60 HP Frigibax, just add in like 3 copies into your binder because sometimes you don't have to play the 70 HP Frigibax, like definitely in a format where Iron Valiant is not that prevalent. The 60 HP one is way better. You need 3 copies of Baxcalibur, which is going to help out chien-pao. Talking about chien-pao, you need 4 copies of chien-pao. 3 is probably enough, like 3 copies of chien-pao is enough, definitely. So 3 copies of that. Other than that, that's one of the few EXs you need. Like, this set was actually pretty humongously bad. Okay. Going over to the trainer section, you need 4 Artisan, 4 Boss's Orders, you need 4 Bravery Charm. You probably need 2 Calamitous Wasteland, which helps out the Banette deck. Choice Battle already talked about. You need 2 copies, by the way, if you are here. Faulkner, maybe, I don't know, there might be cards that want to be using this over other cards, like something like a Goldango. If there's a stadium in play, you actually drop 4, but I don't know. There's probably better, like the Morty coming out in the upcoming set is probably way better, so no Faulkner. 2 Giacomo, you need 4 Great Ball, 4 copies of Iono, the bread and butter of the format, which is great. 2 Practice Studio for more damage output. There's, I would say, 4 Super Rod in your binder and 4 Superior Energy Retrieval. Alright, next set after Paldea Evolved is the Charizard set, Obsidian Flames. Okay, any cards here that you want to have? There's also a set that didn't bring all that much. You definitely need like maybe 2 or 3 copies of, I would say 2 copies of Toedscruel EX, because in a format where chien-pao is good, Roaring Moon is good, and Charizard is good. Toedscruel EX might actually become the next saver of the format. You need 2 copies of the 60 HP Charmander. You need 1 copy of the Charmeleon 70 HP. When item lock is like maybe a tier 1 deck, you might actually want 2 Charmeleons with the... Yeah, actually the one with that slaps 70 damage is actually not bad, but maybe the 100 HP is better because of the fact that Level Ball rotated regardless. So just put 1 copy of the Charmeleon with 90 HP. Alright, any other cards we want? Currently, not a lot in this set, to be honest. Obsidian Flames? No. Yeah, maybe a 2-2 line like Lunatone and Solrock here with the prevent all effects of the stadium done to you. If there's ever a stadium that what you want to have one-sided, that actually becomes like a great way to go about it. Like we did see before with stuff like Path to the Peak. Oh, Charizard, you need 3 copies, Charizard EX. That's what you need. Want to be playing competitively? You also might want to have like, I don't know about the scissor effect, but there in the 151 set there's a great scyther. Maybe put 4 of these scythers and then 3 of the scissor in your binder. You never know when this might become like a great one prize rogue deck. Pidgeot, you need 2 copies of Pidgeot EX. On top of that, the Pidgeys that we're going to be getting are from the 151 set with Call for Family. Yeah, that's about it. I'll be honest, there's not a lot. Trainer cards, like only Pidgeot and Charizard are like the most noteworthy cards. For here, like maybe 1 copy of Letter of Encouragement, which helps out with the Goldango deck. If you get knocked out, you can fetch it out with stuff like Irida. Pokemon League Headquarters, like 3 copies of that into your binder. Maybe, yeah, you don't need Poppy, that's just YOLO behavior. 4 copies of Town Store, 4 copies of Vengeful Punch, and that's where it stops. Now we are heading over, I think there was a mini set after Obsidian Flames, yeah, the 151 set. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we can have here for the 151 set. Oh yeah, just need to cut out Obsidian Flames as well here, otherwise it's a little bit tricky. Okay, you need the Pidgeys from 50 HP. You need, I would say, 3 of them. 3 of them are sufficient. 151 surprisingly has like interesting cards. You need 1 Sandshrew. You never know when it might become useful. Maybe when control decks come out of the woodworks. I do love the 151 set. It's like super nostalgic to see all these Pokemon in this exact order. But I wouldn't put a lot of them into my binder, to be honest. Yeah, not really. Nothing sparks my eye. This Ditto, you maybe want to add 1 copy into your binder because you can then transform as a 5th Comfey or a 5th Arceus, whatever deck you're playing. Let's see. The Zapdos EX at one point saw play in Miraidon. Never sees play currently, so maybe people might surprise when it can still allow you to snipe all with Iron Hands out there to take 2 prize cards. This is like abundance. You don't need it. Mew EX, 2 copies. Slide them into your binder. They're very good. 70 HP Charmander, 3 copies into your binder, and a one-off copy of the Charmeleon, 100 HP. Also pretty damn good. Then for EXs, I don't think you need any of these EXs, let's be honest. Okay, 151, any of these. You might want 4 Energy Stacker because Flaffy will have rotated, and without Energy Acceleration, it's gonna be pretty tricky to get an additional Iron Hands off. Erica's Invitation, you need 2 copies. You need 3 Grabbers, because Grabber can sometimes become very good, and that is about it. Also, the basic Pokemon this card is attached to has no weakness. Could definitely help out something like a Roaring Moon if people are still playing stuff like Tropius, but I think Tropius will have rotated by then. Okay, then the last of the bunch is going to be Paradox Rift, our latest expansion. Alright, what do we need? Okay, we definitely need this Toedscruel, I think 2 of them. Maybe some Tentacles, actually Toadschools as well. Yeah, the 50 HP probably are better, so like I would go with 4 copies of the 50 HP Toedscool and the 2 copies of this Toedscruel because it shuts down stuff like Superior Energy Retrieval, etc., which is actually pretty damn huge. Definitely in a format where more decks will have rotated out, other decks will become stronger again. Iron Bundle, probably need 1 copy into your binder, which counts as a one-sided Escape Rope. Escape Rope will have rotated, so pretty interesting. 1 copy of Elekid. If you're playing something like Iron Valiant, you might actually donk people because of that crackling shot. The fun fact is that Medicham is gone, so Iron Valiant is probably less good. You need I would say a 3-3 line of Xatu with its ability to allow you to accelerate Psychic Energies and drawing cards. You need 3 Screamtail because I think Screamtail Drifloon is going to be the way Gardevoir operates. You need, I don't know if this is the preferred Gimmighoul. I would just add in 4 copies of Gimmighoul regardless because I predict Goldango getting a little bit better with a rotation. 4 copies of Cloth, it could still slap lots as a 1-price deck when there's like more Pokemon out there. You need 4 Sandy Shock because this is going to be paired up a lot with a Raging Bolt EX coming out in our Temporal Forces set. If you're behind, it's going to be very good to slap lots and lots of damage. You need 2 Morpeko. Morpeko is actually pretty great in the Professor Sada, actually Professor Sada decks out there using it as a pivot, because you can actually have this as a free retreat and you can also slap with it and then move the energies around. You need 2 copies of Brute Bonnet, you need 4 copies of Roaring Moon, that's right. You need 1 copy of the Jirachi. Okay, then 4 copies of Goldango, maybe 2 copies of Tatsugiri if you're like a control kind of guy. And you can search out anything you want, although there is an Iono format, so be careful of that. People might think you need Bombardier, but I don't think so. You do have the Buddy Puffins, so that's going to be the thing that's going to exactly replace the Battle VIP Pass in a lot of lists out there. Need 4 of these Gimme Ghouls as well. Maybe a Minior, you never know when Snorlax might ruin your day once more. You need 2 copies of Iron Hands EX, 1 copy of the Tapu Koko EX, and 4 copies of Iron Valiant EX. Okay, then for the trainer cards of the Paradox Rift, 3 energy boost capsules. I would go even as far as like 4 counter catchers, just for if you're playing control. 1 Defiance Vest, 4 Earthen Vessel, 3 Future Boost energy capsule, 1, I would say that even 4 Luxury Escape decks can come out, you never know. 4 Professor Sala's Vitality, 2 Professor Turo, 2 TM Devolution, 2 TM Evolution, 4 Techno Radars, and that's about it. So lots and lots of cards to add into your binder for post-rotation. Now we're actually going to making our way to our next set, which actually is Paldean Fates, and that's actually a very interesting one because we will not be needing a lot. So Paldean Fates, we're gonna be checking out the visual set lists with some selected proxies, because you actually don't need a lot from this set, so I can make it nice and easy. Let's hop over. Yeah, sorry for the transitions there. I was still searching out where I've put these kind of cards. So let's go. Now we have a little bit of a better look at... Yeah, looks great, I suppose, yeah. All right, so what do we need? We need TM Crisis Shots. I would say as... just put 2 of them in your binder. You need 3 copies of Moonlit Hill, which is gonna help out Gardevoir a little bit, maybe other decks as well. That's about it. So for the cards here in the 151 set, there's not a lot. Maybe like put in like this Charmeleon as well, which is actually immune from stuff like the Sable Sprinkles. Other than that, you don't need anything else. So we're gonna be going to the upcoming releases, and that's going to be Temporal Forces. So cards, translations, Temporal Forces. Okay, what do we need? Okay. Let's reload this page. Make it a little bit more beautiful for you guys so you can follow along at home nice and easily. Okay, so Temporal Forces. We don't... Actually, I forgot Scyther in the 151 set, by the way. But I said it, so don't forget it. Any cards we want here to put into our binder? You need 4 copies of this Turtwig because it actually comes packed with something great. It has the 20 less damage from attack, so a Greninja can actually not knock it out, which is hilarious. Radiant Greninja is gonna not knock out Turtwig, that's great. You need 3 copies of Torterra EX. I might see this working out when there's not a lot of fire in the format. Torterra might be the tanky Pokemon you want. Actually, a very great card is Whimsicott, maybe a 2-2 line here. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may heal all damage from your active grass Pokemon. But you do have to discard all energies, but the cool thing is that Torterra attacks for 1 measly energy, so that's insane for sure. Any other cards you might want? I'm just trying to figure it out. Robska here as a stage 1 actually prevents all damage and effects done to your bench Pokemon. So it's pretty much Jirachi and Manaphy combined into 1 card. You need, I would say, 2 Iron Leaves EX, which can fly itself into the active position, absorb the energies and slap. You need, I'm not a big believer of Incineroar because I think Charizard does it way better as a stage 2 Pokemon. Gouging Fire, I would include, I would say like 3, I don't even know if it's better than like the Roaring Moon here. So probably I would just skip on Gouging Fire for now, even though you can set up a Magma Base and all that, etc. Roaring Moon is doing it better, I suppose. Okay. Then, well, Walking Wake, I would add in 2 copies into your binder. Great water Pokemon that has the Shred ability. Very cool to see. Any of these cards, these might actually become interesting, like the Iron Thorns. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 70 damage for each future card you find there. So if you can make a deck work this with EXP share, I'm still surprised. Currently, I would say no, but I might be shown wrong in the future. A Bronzong, you definitely need like a 2-2 line of this Bronzong, because Bronzong can actually shut down the opponent from playing Evolution Pokemon, and you can trap Pokemon definitely in controlling kind of decks. If you're playing Psychic Energies already, this could actually become a 1-1 line in Banette as well when you're evolving instantly. So that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, you have the Flutter Mane. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities. So is it better than Klefki? Probably not, but in some sort of controlling world, I could see it working out. So maybe 2 copies. Let's see here. These are like 1 prize Iron Valiants, which don't look that promising. Iron Crown, definitely get 4 copies. It allows you to slap 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon with your future Pokemon, which are pretty great. This Relicanth is also pretty great because Relicanth, each of your evolved Pokemon can use attacks of its previous evolution, which is great. Something like Giratina V-Star can now use the Shred attack instead of going for like Lost Impact on the 1-prizer, for example. Then we're moving forward. Great Tusk is going to be a new mill deck. If you want mill decks and into your binder, just have some cards around Great Tusk. 4 copies of that, I suppose. There is Sandy Shocks as a 1-prize Pokemon. If you have 3 or more energy in play, this attack does 70 damage. So 90 damage for 1 energy as a 1-prizer for 120 HP, being Spit Innocently Proof. That's not bad. I probably would include 2 copies in my binder. Gengar EX, don't bother with it. It's not that great. Furry Giraffe. Prevent all damage dealt to this Pokemon by opponent's Pokemon basics. So as a counter to stuff like Miraidon, but Miraidon is going to get nerfed without Flaffy. And yeah, if you're up against something like Walking Wake with Shred or Frenzied Gouging, which can snap, I don't see this working out. So I probably wouldn't. Maybe a 2-2 line. You never know when a format comes out. Roaring Moon, this one is a 1-prizer. I would include 3 copies in my binder because it's very great. Slaps more damage for every ancient Pokemon in your discard pile. I would need a 4-4 line of the Metang. And as mentioned, you don't need this Beldum. There's a better Beldum out there, although it has 60 HP. It can search your deck for any 1 card. Yeah, maybe the 70 HPs are better because you're a little bit Sableye proof. But if you have Jirachi, you might have a mixture of those. But Metang can look at the top 4 cards of your deck and attach any basic metal energies you find there. And to your Pokemon any way you like. That's crazy. So it's like a mini Magnezone, but it's gonna be the resurgence of something like Dialga, V-Star, who knows. Koraidons here. You might include them if you do draw them, but I wouldn't include them. Miraidon here, actually pretty great. 40 damage and search your deck for 2 basic energies and attach them to your future Pokemon any way you like. It's actually not bad. Definitely if you have some Iron Crowns set up, you can slap enough damage to KO a 1-prize Pokemon. So you need 4 copies of this Miraidon for sure. The other Miraidons here, yeah, this is a Miraidon EX. Raging Balls, if you're a believer, in combination with the Sandy Shocks, you might actually include 2 or 3 copies of a Raging Bolt EX into your binder. The Dunsparce has a draw engine. Yeah, I'll skip that. Not a fan. And then we have Iron Jugulius. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, has damage from an attack, put 3 damage counter. Nah, it's very bad. You don't need it. Awakening Drum for draw power. Do you need draw power over Prime Catcher? Probably not. Buddy Puffin, you need 4 copies of that. It's kind of crazy how good it actually is. It's like VIP Pass, but on every single turn for 70 HP Pokemon or less, 2 of them, slap them down on the bench. The Cryptomaniac's Deciphering, which is very good. Search your deck for 2 cards and put them on top of the deck in any order. That means you can draw them out with Refinement. You can draw them out with something like Concealed Guard. So it's going to be a great card. You definitely need like 3 copies in your binder. Dangerous Jungle for more damage for poison Pokemon, except Darkness Pokemon. Works wonders with a Brood Bonnet. So maybe like add in 3 copies into Maybe it's like gonna be a pure poison deck, just add 4 copies. Emergency board is very great, as we've seen post-rotation with something like the gun phase, so you would definitely want to include 3 copies into your binder. Even though Jet Energy is a thing, this actually is, if you have this in the mid to late game, it helps out so much because you're gonna get knocked out with an Iono and then you can promote a Comfey with an emergency board. Eerie, you need 3 copies for your Snorlax block deck. Explorer's Guidance, look at the top 6 cards, put 2 of them in hand, maybe 2 off, I suppose. Professor Sada is probably way better. Full Metal Lap is a defensive card that's saw played before, you don't need it. Hand Trimmer, probably 4 copies, you never know how it goes. Heavy Baton for 4 retreat Pokemon, yeah, you can get another Iron Hand setup. There is a Lost Vacuum in the format, so but still 3 copies into your binder. There's Town Store to fetch it out. Hero Escape as a one-off. Ace Packs are a one-off in your deck, so all the Ace Packs I would just include one-off into your binder. Morty's Conviction. Draw a card for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Maybe like 4 copies. You might see this propping off with Goldango, by the way. You have the Order Box. You probably won't need this because your turn ends. Prime Catcher, Reboot Bot. These are all very great Ace Pack cards, so definitely include them. Salvatore, 4 copies because you can evolve a Pokemon without an ability instantly. So you can evolve into Banette, for example, which is great. The Mist Energy will protect you from Friendship Gouging and the Star Requiem. So 4 copies of that in here might become great again with something like a Goodra V Star, and then 1 copy of the Neo Upper Energy. And that's about it. That's all the cards in your binder. If you have all of these set up in your binder, you are ready for EUIC to start deck building. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this 1-hour run through of what you need in your binder for post rotation. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in ridiculous ways you have no idea. It only takes 1 tiny second of your time, so I'll appreciate it a ton if you would do so. With that being said, go check out our sponsors, dragonshield.com, the best place for sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. You can get 5% off using the coupon Zapdos5 or just clicking the link down below and just stock up on some sleeves for the rest of the season, for the 2024 season. There's yourplaymat.com to create your own custom playmat from scratch. You can get one with 10% discount right now by clicking the link down below, and they ship worldwide, so definitely do so. There's PoTownStore.com, the best place for TCG live code cards, and you can use the coupon ZapdosTCG for 5% off. Stock up on some of these Paldean Fates codes so you can maximize rarity on TCG Live. It's always nice to look at some beautiful artworks. And yeah, also go check out cardmarket.com, a European platform to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapdosTCG. Wow, that was a long video. Didn't even know it's gonna be this long, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So what you put into your binder. See you guys tomorrow for some brand new Pokemon TCG content. Peace.